So if you've watched my videos for a while, you certainly know that I'm not a fan of counting or restricting calories, counting macros, or tracking your food at all whatsoever to lose weight consistently. If you've watched my videos for more than a few weeks, you certainly know that I take more of a hormonal-based approach to weight loss with a scientific perspective. There may be some of you that have watched my scientific videos in the past and may have understood a little bit whenever it came to hormonal dysregulation with caloric restriction or any form of food tracking that puts you in a position where you're moving more and eating less, but there may be some of you that really didn't understand that too well and it kind of went over your head a little bit. So this video is for you if you are that person. I'm going to reveal to you the one simplistic analogy that you can use to completely debunk the myth of caloric restriction or any other food tracking method to lose weight consistently. So here we go. Here it is. If you get 500 calories of salmon and you compare it to 500 calories of a brownie, if the paradigm of the total daily energy expenditure equation or the entire narrative of moving more and eating less and being in a caloric deficit to lose weight, you're just simply eating too much, that entire mantra, if that is true, if you have that philosophy instilled in your mind, you would say that the brownie and the piece of salmon, even though they have, they're completely different, one's composed with sugar, the other is composed of just nothing, but really just one ingredient, salmon, just high quality animal fat and protein. Even though they are composed of completely different ingredients, they're equally as fattening because they each have 500 calories. Would you agree that a brownie is equally as fattening to salmon because they each have 500 calories? Just let that sink in for just one moment. So the fitness influencers and the coaches that advocate for a caloric deficit, advocate for caloric restriction are all over the internet pushing for this, and you call them, you get on the phone with them to seek help with your issue with gaining weight and you want to lose some weight and they tell you to do that. That's the mantra, that's the entire philosophy that they're going off of. So keep that in mind next time when you got a moronic fitness influencer telling you that it's all about moving more and eating less and you're simply just eating too much and that's why you're overweight. Because those are going to be the same people that will tell you that 500 calories of a brownie is equally as fattening to 500 calories of salmon. And if you even spent 1 second in elementary school, I'm pretty sure that you would be able to say that salmon is certainly not equally as fattening as a brownie. And when I say fattening, it puts you in a position where you're most likely going to be able to store some body fat. Do you think salmon is going to make you put on some body fat because it has 500 calories? Right? Do you think a brownie is going to put you in a position to gain weight, put you in a position where you're going to store some body fat? Because it's a brownie or because it has 500 calories? Once again, let that sink in for a second. That is the bullshit that fitness influencers and coaches have been spewing out for years. And will even charge you thousands of dollars worth of coaching just to tell you to do that and then put their hands behind their head and kick their feet back, wait for you to see just some initial weight loss results just for you to gain all the weight back because your hormones are dysregulated and you're not addressing the root cause of the problem, which is food quality and the impact of your food on your hormones. If you've watched my video in the past, you'll know exactly how to optimize your hormonal function, or the function of your hormones, I should say, depending on the foods that you eat. Right? And that's one example that you can use to basically instill that mindset. If you have a brownie, a food that is composed of all sorts of artificial added sugars, it's a processed carbohydrate, it's a fake food, it's not real, it's garbage, everyone knows it's unhealthy. Even, the biggest moron could tell you that a brownie is unhealthy. It's most likely going to spike your insulin, it's going to spike your blood glucose levels and put you in a position where you're going to store some body fat. Salmon is composed of monounsaturated fat, maybe a little bit of saturated fat as well, and some animal-based protein that has all 9 essential amino acids. It's going to be a very, very holistic insulin response that you're going to get from salmon. And the protein content is certainly going to put you in a position to add some muscle mass to your body. It's not going to make you gain weight because it has 500 calories. Come on. So you guys, that's one example that you can use to completely dispute the fact that you need to count or restrict calories in order to lose weight. And anybody that's going to sit here and tell you that a brownie is equally as fattening to salmon just because they have the same number of calories is completely full of shit, and I feel sorry for them because you have gone so far down the dogma of counting and restricting calories, the whole quantitative, quantity-oriented mindset, to the point to where you've completely rebuked quality, and you don't even look at that anymore. It is important. Is quantity important? Yes, it is, but the quality takes care of the quantity. And what I mean by that is whenever you are eating foods that are of a higher quality, that are satiating you, are giving you good hormonal responses, are making you feel good, and you're eating foods that are not going to be fattening, not going to put you in a position to store body fat, you don't need to worry about the calories. The calories and the quantity will take care of itself. The only time you need to worry about quantity is when the quality is low. So if you're eating low quality foods, junk food, yeah, now you're going to have to worry about quantity because you're not going to get satiated at all from eating a brownie or a fortune cookie. Here's another really simple analogy I'm going to give you as well. This is like a bonus. So Dr. Jason Fung has used this analogy a lot in his books and on his podcasts, and it's almost positive it's in his obesity code book as well. It's been a while since I've read that book. Anyway, with the buffet analogy, let's say you go to the buffet, right? And you eat the teriyaki chicken, you eat the orange chicken, you eat all the animal foods to the point to where you just literally cannot eat anymore. Everyone's been at that point where they eat so much in the way of animal meats, they cannot eat anymore because it's very satiating. So imagining that you're in that state, which would you be more likely to eat if you had two options? You have a drumstick or you have a fortune cookie. Are you going to eat the drumstick? No. You're already so satiated and it's so filling. There's no way you can eat it. But fortune cookie sounds good. Why? Not only does it taste good, but you're not going to get any satiety from processed garbage like a fortune cookie that literally has no nutrient composition. But anyway, you probably shouldn't eat that fortune cookie in the first place because it might have like 200 calories or something. I'm just joking. But you get the point, and you understand now, hopefully, why that is total bullshit. So if you ever go on Instagram, you go on YouTube, TikTok, or any other social media platform, and you hear somebody advocating for a caloric deficit, advocating for caloric restriction, advocating for moving more and eating less, and they see weight loss as just a mathematical equation, and that's it, you're just eating too much, just keep that example in mind. Not only the buffet analogy, but certainly the brownie versus salmon analogy. And you can use this in so many different ways. You can compare broccoli to a donut. You can compare a ribeye to a cookie, whatever you'd like to do. Get any other healthy food. Get any other unhealthy food that's going to spike insulin and be filled with sugar. Make sure that one has 250 calories, the other has 250, and just make sure the caloric composition is equal, and then compare the two. 500 calories of salmon is not going to be fattening at all whatsoever. And 500 calories of a brownie will be fattening, but not because it has 500 calories. It is because it is a fucking brownie. So there you go. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you would ever like to speak with me one-on-one and learn about how I can help you lose weight consistently without tracking or restricting a single calorie at all whatsoever, and eating foods that are actually fun to eat, such as chicken, seafood, red meat, steak, ground beef, lamb, eating a bunch of fruit, vegetables, and mixing and matching those things to eat those things at restaurants or even at fast food restaurants, giving you a structured plan in which you can do that, even with a crazy, hectic, busy schedule, then click the link below to book a one-on-one call with me, and I'll fully customize a plan that is made just for you. So that is it for me, and I'll see you in the next video.